I always thought it would be cool if you could go back and listen to the day-to-day of today's highest achievers as it happened, as opposed to 30 years later after they've made it. I believe there's a giant disconnect between ground zero and the top floor because we only see the top floor and the top floor only talks about the top. How valuable would that be? And so it goes without saying, but I believe I'll make it there. And this is the documented journey through each level. My name is Bryson Sessions, and you are listening to the Bed Podcast. Okay, so the quality of this show is just for my laptop. So what you're hearing right now is just, there's no microphone. This is not my iPhone. This is laptop. So if it's ass, then it's ass. If it's not, then whatever. But so this one might be short and sweet as well. But so I talk a lot about Alex Hormozi on the show. And he's just fucking intelligent ass person. So I'm reading the book, $100 million leads by him. And, how to get strangers to want to buy your stuff. That's the whole book. And I'm just reading what he's got. And everything is just, it's so straight to the point. It's so valuable. It's so simple. It's like, why didn't we think of this before? And I think, so this is kind of the idea that I had with this episode, is how often we just overthink or think about how things could be better or what, like a better approach to whatever we're trying to do is. But the reality is maybe it's just doing the fundamentals, doing the basics over and over and over and over again. Because in the book, there's nothing new. It's just like, hey, if you want to get business, you gotta let people know about it. And how do you do that? Well, you talk to them, okay? And then how do you do that? What's a good way? Not being like, you got to drink a special sauce that goes this way, whatever. And then within 5 minutes, you'll have whatever. And I think we've just, I guess I can speak for myself here, but I think we just look for that now because we want the easy, fast, short, quick, painless, And I don't think that the great success in life come from the painless and the easy. I think they come from the hardship and the difficult and the challenge. And so I think we just look at that incorrectly. We look at hard being something else as opposed, or look at, I don't know. But like I'm just reading everything. Like there's nothing that's complex. There's nothing that's like, this is really hard to understand. It's all so simple, and it just that's it. That right there could be the show. But that's all. Just so many aha moments when I'm reading the book. And it's just, this is just talking about, for some context, Alex Hormozi, in case you don't know, is a serial entrepreneur. He owns a huge portfolio company that has maybe dozens of companies now. Brings home, or I think the companies cumulatively do almost half a billion in sales per year, or whatever revenue. I'm not sure what the number is, but he's 34, 35, 36, something like that. And so he's built everything up from kind of ground zero, lost everything 4 times. So a lot of what he says is just gold. And it's funny because it's so simple, but it's so absolutely true. And that's coming from me who hasn't really done shit, but it's super helpful to have people like him before us so that we can learn from them, and he has a great point, which is, it's the further and further along the generations go, the easier it becomes. For example, Gary Vaynerchuk didn't have Gary Vaynerchuk to learn from. Alex Hormozi didn't have Alex Hormozi to learn from. Warren Buffett didn't have Warren Buffett to learn from. So as we continue to go, we get more and more valuable people that put their stuff out there and help others. And that simplifies the process for me, for example. Like I don't have, for example, people born 30 years ago, people that are 30 years older than me that are in business, didn't have Alex to learn from. But I do. So I have that advantage. I have the upper hand there. And it's crazy, man, because this could be such a long show if I dive deep into everything. But all I'm trying to say in a quick recap is it's crazy how we overcomplicate things because we think it has to be hard to be effective, or we think it has to be complex to be efficient or whatever. The truth is we just got to do the fundamentals over and over and over consistently. And I think that is too ugly of a thing to sell or to paint the picture of. Like if somebody was like, if you want to get abs, you're going to have to diet and then do about 60,000 reps in the gym. That's it. Someone might see that and be like, oh, hell no, there's got to be a better way, But the truth is, that's it. And that's all you got to do. So just do it. But then, like I just said, we just overthink it. We're like, no, it's probably not it. It's got to be a better way. And so when people do tell the truth, and they do tell you things like, hey, you got to do 60,000 reps in the next however many days or years or whatever, we just hear that. And we're like, no, I'm going to do this easier way. It's faster. It's quicker because this guy said. So anyway, I think we just ignore that shit. But honestly, that's the show. I just had that thought I wanted to share because I'm reading the book and it's just liquid gold. And I'm trying to take notes, highlight right in the margins and stuff like that. So just trying to learn and grow because I'm going to apply all this to my business. And I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to implement what I read instead of just reading 52 books a year and not doing shit. So I'm kind of committed to that now. So what I read, I'm going to implement and then not really do anything else until I implement it and see the results. Keep going. So, and he's got a quote at the very end of the book, and I think it's so good just to think about on a deep level, which is, may your desires be greater than your obstacles. I just fucking love that. Like I'm going to steal that straight up and use that as well, because that's just such a powerful thing. May your desires be greater than your obstacles. That's awesome. So, yeah, that's a short one today, but that's it. That's all I got. So, happy 4th of July, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace. Hey, thanks for listening, and quick reminder here. So this podcast doesn't prioritize professionalism or quality at all. It's just meant to be a shoot from the hip type podcast with the intent just to get a quick message out. So some episodes might be inaudible in 30 seconds, and others might be 45 minutes and super crisp sounding. So all these are being made so that by episode 7,305, which is 20 years, we can come back and see the entire playbook of how I made it to wherever I'm going. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.